So UFC MMA news, NXT's first ever women's double champ Steph Vaquer is at the UFC Performance Institute in Mexico, okay, demonstrating her finisher inside the octagon, okay, wearing her own Venom gear that they made her, which is awesome. Her own fight kit. Let's see. She's literally showing the ins and outs of how to do it like a shoot. This is the UFC PI. They are, what did I tell you guys? That no one else talks about, God damn it.
Acknowledge me.
I told you guys, don't be shocked if we see some WWE talent down in that UFC PI, and if WWE starts around in Vegas and they're going to build an extension, and then they start talking about residencies, and then we're talking about in Mexico, there's a PC in Mexico, and NXT Mexico, like Triple H had planned and shit. Don't be shocked if any of that happens. She's already there at the PI doing already, okay? Still don't miss, man.
Yeah. Lo más importante de este movimiento es hacer la fuerza con la aquí, asegurarlo a subir. Cámara lenta.
Claro, y te tira para arriba y cae en la rodilla.
Ahora, obviamente, ya.
But wait, though, do you know what he's saying? He's like, dude, if they're in a sprawl, and she's like, no, it could work. She's explaining, like, look, if you're in what she's saying there, and this guy's like, dude, if you could jack someone up and get your knee under it, because what people will do is you sprawl on someone, you pick them up rampage style. A lot of times people bail out, or the idea is you pile drive them, right? For instance, see like Nogueira, Bob Sapp is a good example. There's numerous examples. You try and pile drive them. And basically, they're sitting there saying, like, if you got the knee under, that's not illegal, in MMA, it's not. I mean, I don't think anybody's ever going to pull it off, right? Wishful thinking here. We're fantasy mark booking, right? But a boy can dream. Either way, it's just really cool. And I told you guys this was going to start happening. And this is why the episode's titled, Dave Meltzer is Dumber Than Kids. Dave Meltzer, are you smarter than a fifth grader? He's not. Here are kids. Dave, we've been covering it lately, how Meltzer's always getting hung up on kayfabe. Well, there was a 93,000, Brian. Oh, Penta to say he's the best luchador in the world. That's ludicrous. That's preposterous. Right? And he's getting all hung up on kayfabe stuff all the time now. And so these kids, and it's like, Dave, you want to see rankings in a shoot? Go watch MMA. Like, what do you... So these kids here understand it, right? Back in the day, people ask them, well, why do you watch pro wrestling? And these kids explain it. And sometimes you got to look to kids to remind you of certain, because they think of things simpler, right? Not Greta Thunberg, how dare you? But like kids like this, right? With happy smiles on their faces, who aren't terrifying.
Hi, Michael. Why are you here?
Because wrestling's just incredible. Yeah. Awesome. Yeah.
Michael, is this really wrestling or is this fake?
Nah, it's wrestling.
How do you know, Michael?
You don't know, but it's just fun to watch. It's just a show.
Yeah.
That's why you go to Broadway. It's a show.
Okay, good. Good answer. Hey, Frank, why are you
Legit a great answer.
here? What's the big deal here?
To see wrestling.
What's such a big deal about wrestling?
It's great.
Why?
It's great. That's why.
It's great. Oh, you're a future AW fan. This is Colt Cabana. He's like, yeah, it's great, Tony. This is Colt when he was a kid.
Is this wrestling or is this acting? Okay, you can tell me.
If it was acting, then why are you doing this and not in there wrestling?
Oh, called you out, news guy.
Because I don't wrestle. I don't wrestle.
So, if it was fake, you wouldn't have to wrestle, right?
I guess.
Yo, this kid just... Hold on, man. This kid dismantled this reporter.
Thanks a lot, Frank. Whatever that was. Okay, what's your name?
Herb Tannenbaum.
All right, Herb, why are you here?
I'm here because this is the best entertainment around in the city of New York, the United States of America.
You don't look very excited, though, Herb.
Well, I'm excited about it. When I'm inside there at 1 o'clock, we are going to see wrestling at its all-time pinnacle. You're going to see Mr. T and Hulk Hogan against Rowdy Piper and Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff. You're going to see on
is this okay? This is WrestleMania 1 then?
Andre the Giant against John Studd, and this is going to be one of the greatest matches. This is the best entertainment around. When I was a kid, I could root for the Brooklyn Dodgers. They stayed in Brooklyn. Today, the players don't stay anywhere. The teams don't stay anywhere. There are good guys and there are bad guys. This is the best entertainment around.
Dude, what an eloquent, like, yo, the home team, they don't stay anywhere. Like the Dodgers don't stay anywhere. They travel now. And this is the mentality back then. Imagine how happy these people are and the sickos back then, what they would say if there were sickos in Twitter. And this guy said something eloquently like that on Twitter. That's amazing, dude. I didn't even think of it that way, you know? There's good guys and bad guys, and that's it. And you see them all, and oh, it's amazing.
But these guys, this isn't wrestling. This is show business.
Hey, so is Starsky and Hutch. So is the Love Boat. So is Hill Street Blues. Vince McMahon is a genius. This guy has got everybody hooked on this. This is the sport of the 80s. This is the media event of 1985.
This isn't
Let me
sports,
ask you,
though,
let me
is it?
ask you a question. What are you doing here today?
I have no idea. The difference is I'm being paid to be here.
This is true.
You know?
I'm paying to be here. And I'll tell you something, this is exciting. And I'll tell you, we're going to see a great crowd here. These people are wonderful. They're well behaved. And this is the fun. This is where it's at. Forget the Super Bowl. The Super Bowl is super boring. This is exciting.
Oh, shit.
All right.
This is before holy chants, right? They'd be chanting this, dude. Holy.
Tiny. Why are you here?
To watch wrestling. This is the greatest card I've ever heard of. 20 years or better I'm watching wrestling. I think this is the greatest. There's so many changes. Like, take a look at Albano. He's got his haircut. The beard is up. He's a good guy. The new Samoans are bad again. There's so many changes. It's a turnaround. It's excitement. It's wild. Look, everybody's here. Why are they here? And wrestling's so phony. Maybe it's phony. That's your opinion. But for 20,000 people here, it's fantastic. That's why we're here.
WrestleMania is something very important. You have mixture of movie stars, singers, and wrestlers. So you combine the whole thing together and you have a lot of fun.
Wait a minute. You're an adult, so you got to be at least over 21, right?
I'm 50.
You're 50. Yeah, this is good. This is child stuff.
No, it's not. No, a lot of people say things are fixed. To a certain extent, I believe when you're in the ring, a wrestler, he knows how to fall, he knows how to train, and he's there. So for us, it's a lot of fun.
But it is fixed, isn't it?
I wouldn't say that.
And that's the other thing. Well, yeah, fixed, I guess, because yeah, it's like it's not even a sport. This guy's about to drop bombs. He's gonna, like, these people are understanding that it's sports entertainment before, like, sports entertainment, pal, was ever said. And you have to love it, you know? They're just brainwashed lunatics who are trained to think that wrestling is supposed to be one thing.
Now, when you're a movie actor and you go to do a stunt, unless you prepare yourself ahead of time.
And also, like, yeah, the end of a movie stage too, bro. We know, but like Tom Cruise is 5'1". Okay, he's not beating anybody up. But I'll go watch a movie where it's like Mission Impossible, and they hire people shorter than him, and he does kung fu kicks, or his stunt double does, or whatever. Actually, I don't even think Tom Cruise uses stunt double, but you guys get the point, right? Like, we know, dude. There's no dragons. I like Lord of the Rings.
Otherwise, what happens when you go to do the stunt, you're going to fall apart and you're going to break your head.
You got to love that. I just love bringing stuff like that to the show. Now, from something awesome to a horrifying, no, it is not Halloween, ladies and gentlemen. Hold on. Joining us on the show, Linda Hogan. It's not Halloween, folks. Terrifying, I know. Linda Hogan blames Hulk Hogan for her family being in the worst mess. Hasn't spoken to Brooke in almost 8 years. Yeah. So again, this is like the stories about Linda are that, you know, she took Hogan for all his money, started banging young dudes, throwing cocaine parties, cocaine. Damn. I don't know. I wasn't there. I didn't partake. I haven't seen anything.
I don't know.
Right? It's just been the rumors, like, in mainstream media as well. So yeah, once a very beautiful lady, you know, drugs and just being like tossed to the curb by young dudes using you for your money and just banging you because you're a cougar and stuff. Yeah, this will do this to you, you know, and I feel bad. But Brooke Hogan responds and I think shuts her mom down here. And let's take a look, man. Hulk Hogan is definitely, he's like more relevant. now than he has been in a long time, right? I mean, since maybe WrestleMania 18, around that time. He's like, I'm not saying he's in that sphere of like where the crowd would go crazy for him, but as far as like in the news and popularity and like something that's like Hulk Hogan's sort of, we hear about him almost every show, every other show. There's something to do with him again. So pretty crazy to think about in 2025, no? But either way, here's Linda Hogan here melting down, I guess.
Your face out there and know that all these horrible things are going on behind the scenes. Yet he marches on. He marches on like, yeah, oh, I'm promoting my own beer, real American beer. Yeah, look at me. Woo!
Yeah, but here's the thing. He has to do that to pay for everything, to pay for the divorce, to pay for his kid who gets in DUIs, to pay, you know, Brooke Hogan was, how much did he sink into her trying to get her music career going and all of that stuff? And you're like, he's parading around there. Do you think he wants to do that? The man can barely walk. And yeah, maybe he wants the attention. Maybe if it was up to him, though, he would just show up at WWE shows and everyone would, you know, or he'd be like hired to be an Expendables 5 as like just a dude who's like, okay, brother, he just like shoots a rocket launcher one time or something. But Hogan's, the man can barely walk. He doesn't want to be out there, I don't think. Maybe he does. Like I there's a thing where he does want the attention for sure, absolutely. But there's another aspect where it's all he knows, and there's something to be said too. They say it about these workaholic dudes all the time. Like they stop working and then they just go and pass away, right? It happens all the time. These dudes like work. They finally retire. They're like, they go play golf, they go and lay down for a nap, they just pass away after their work's done, quote unquote. So Hogan, it's just in his nature, it's in his blood. Ric Flair does it. And I mean, Hogan, he has his past. People hate him, but he's not getting in altercations. Like to this day, Ric Flair's melting down on podcasts and like cursing out pizza chefs and like that, right? Hogan's just like showing up and getting booed and not taking accountability and spreading more lies, dude. I'm just making stuff up now, Jack. You know, and she's like, oh, his beer, woohoo. She's like, clearly, why would that even be a thing to attack him about? Why isn't she like, oh, he's out there parading, oh, the Hulk Hogan Thunder Mixer or whatever, the blender or whatever other thing, because she's looking at like a monetary thing. That's at least my assessment. Like she's looking at that as his success right now. That's got him like mainstream again. And like, dude, I know he's showing up at the Trump stuff, but let's be honest here. He was just on Impulsive like not too terribly long ago. And he's a guy who has like a resurgence right now. And even though wrestling fans are like, nah, out of here, we're always talking about him lately. And like the mainstream, he's sort of around again. And so her being like, oh, he's parading around his beer. Look at me. Woohoo. It's like, he also has to do that. He lives in a mansion. Where do you live? Does he still pay you alimony? You know what I mean? Like come on. I don't know. It's just it's like a low thing to attack the man for his work or whatever. It's just like when Seth Rollins like, yeah, I grew up as a Hulkamaniac. Now, the dude hasn't taken accountability but in the ring, as you know, when Hulkamania was running wild, like that was his hard work, bro. You're not going to undercut that. You can't be like, well, he wasn't the top draw, one of the biggest names of all time. You know, you can't like take that away. So she's trying to like strip away this mild success he has that, let's be honest, like what is he still paying for her mansion? Like where does she live? I have no clue, but you have to assume, right? And that's why he's not just chilling at the beach. Like I believe if he could, Hogan would just be chilling at the beach shop, hosting his little events, doing his thing. But I think he's really pushing to be involved with WWE and get this beer out at the same time and all that, because he needs to sell it. Like eventually, what did Conor McGregor do with his whiskey? What does everybody do? They build their brand up and then they sell it to like Smirnoff or whatever. So Hogan's just going to try and sell this thing for some money because God damn it, like, does he have grandkids? I don't know. Them getting divorced ruined that whole reality show that was bringing in money and obviously like some other drama with their son in that. But yeah, anyways, let's listen. There's 3 minutes of this. I know I just went off on her. It just seems like the very first thing he's like, oh, look at my real American beer. Not a real thing. Like your kids need you. And you know, like they call me every day with like a real thing. Not that like I wish it was something like that, but the first thing she's just like crying and mad because why? Because now he's having a resurgence again and like you don't get alimony anymore or something. Like I don't know what the situation is. I'm just talking. This is all a satire. This is a comedy show. I don't know anything.
Allegedly.
like legit. So I don't, because who knows? This unhinged woman might be like, PWT pod, pull a Brad Shepard or something. Who knows? But anyways, let's listen to Linda here.
Yeah, he's such a hero, right? Not.
Nope, everyone booed his ass. So no, I don't.
Okay, I'm gonna give you my thumbs down. I've given him.
I'm gonna give you my thungs, THUNGS, my thungs down.
More opportunities to come back and make us a family, and
he's married to another woman. You left him and started and dated your daughter's friend.
And try to I'm sorry, it's so sad.
And she's got like an annoying ass bird pet just driving her crazy in the back of her mind. Like, how do you deal with that? If I had that thing going all day, holy dude. Oh my goodness. I would lose my mind.
And it's been 20 years and I'm still this sad.
Oh, I feel so bad. See, she should have just stayed married to Hulk Hogan, not off on him, because now all these years later, she's alone and she's like, oh, was the party worth it? No, it never is. The party ends. Be a good person. You know, the people who love you, hold them tight, tell them you love them. You know, don't be afraid. You get one go at this. And now I feel bad now. I was making fun of her before. I feel bad after she just said that.
Can you please explain that? I don't know. It just doesn't get better. I do love living alone.
I just regret everything, but I do like living alone better. That is one thing that actually I do. I don't want to go back to that, but let me cry more about how I want my. Now we're back laughing at her because that's just like, are you kidding me?
I don't ever want to be married again after him. Trust me. But I love my animals, and
they're all like, kill me. Her birds are like, kill me. They see she turns the camera on. They're all intelligent enough now. They're like, save me. They're all crying for help. Kill me, feed me. This bitch is crazy.
My lawyers were in cahoots with his lawyers. They had everything set up where they were cashing in on me. Yeah.
Lawyers cash in on everybody. They cashed in on Hulkster too. That's why he's selling beer now.
Half of my settlement went to lawyers.
That's how that works all the time, because you dragged it out and wanted every little inch. You wanted every little penny you could, and you were ruthless about it and let them act ruthlessly. And now you're like, they're in cahoots, so they all got the most money. Well, that's what lawyers do all the time. And they all know each other. That's just like a standard thing.
And back into the lawyer pot. And I ended up with hardly anything. I worked for 25 years for free, basically.
Worked for 25 years, like being married to Hulk Hogan and getting the millions of dollars that he made and being his wife was work. Yes, he was a drunk guy and I had to fly around the world and I had to clean up after him and this and this and that. Okay. And there's some people who have to walk like 8 miles into water that cows are in to get water for the week or whatever. And there's some moms who have to carry pots on their head and walk 8 miles to a water ditch. You know what I mean? Like I don't understand, man. I really don't get it. Sometimes people complain, like some people say like comfortability has made people like so much more complacent and fickle and just able to complain about, like, you had it on Easy Street. There's people who'd give a leg to not have to go. I'm sure Miss October 30 doesn't want to have to write her FHA or whatever it is, QRS TUV or whatever. I don't know. It's just it's a wild thing. She's like, I worked 25 years for free, but it's like, well, what happened though? You got half the money from the divorce, and then you're like, I'm left with nothing. But it's like, I'm sure she got paid alimony and stuff. No, or was it just a straight up deal? Because they take more when it's just a straight up deal too. So it's like she's just herself.
And then the settlement that Terry got.
And like, why is she talking to this? Is like 20 years old. And now she's in a rut and she's like, man, 20 years ago, I really should have haggled that deal better out of my divorce. Like, why are you still dwelling on that? Hasn't grown as a person at all. That's how you can tell she's stuck. It's like Triple H said, if you're the same person you were 10 years ago, like if you're the same person you were 3 years ago, man. So
For another friend's wife behind my back, yeah, he got 30 million for that. Yeah. How does that make you feel, right?
yeah, but he had to sue people, and now everyone hates him because of what happened. And I mean, they hate him because of his true intentions, like what he was saying behind the scenes, what he felt comfortable saying. However, you know what I mean? He had to suffer greatly for that too, like to the point where he's not welcome in the WWE. And you're not welcome in AEW, according to Tony Khan.
It's really just not
And
about
see,
the
she's
money.
just focused on, it's really just not about the money. Then why did you bring up the beer, the divorce settlement, and then the $30 million he got from Gawker? And people had to see his little pud, his anti abilities. You know what I mean?
Feel, right? It's really just not about the money, though. It's that I've given him the opportunity to try to make things right with my daughter and try to make things right with my son and help him. But yet he's just like, here's a little bone, here's this little chip, here's a little something for you. He treats everybody like there is
here's a little bone, here's a little chip. Are you dating Drake? I was looking for any sound. Are you dating Drake? A chip and a bone? That sounds like some that your daughter's friends would say, like that dude you were dating that was her best friend. That sounds like some I would say that's like millennial talk. I don't know if I'm a millennial, but it's born in 91. Someone do the quick math on that, but because I can't keep up with all these Gen Z, Gen X. I don't know, but that's a chip and a bone.
I don't know.
ex-wife. Here's a little cookie for you.
Here's a little son. What does Drake say in that song? He's like, here's a little 10-piece. Oh, I love it. Here's a 10-piece. She picked that up hanging out. She heard that in Drake's songs hanging out with her daughter's friends. Okay.
For you. Here's a little cookie for you. Like, we mean nothing to him.
Here's a cookie. Here's a little 10-piece for just a little 10-piece for just to throw it in. What's that song? I can't remember. Still going bad on him anyway. Oh my God, Meek Mill. Oh my God. So good, dude.
I meant nothing to him, even though I earned a $20 million empire with him.
What? How many leg drop did the Iron Sheik break your back? Pause. He may have. No. Right? Like, did the Japanese wrestler break your leg? Did that kid die of cancer when you filled out London and Wembley? That didn't actually. Were you offered to fight in Pride in the 70s? All of Hogan's lies. Did you pick that stinky giant up above your head, brother, in front of 137,000 people and slam him? And it was a work shoot because you didn't know if Andre was going to actually let you win the match or not, dude. Well, let me ask you something, Linda. Did you team with Mr. T? Did you choke Richard Belzer and drop him on his head on late night and get sued right before the biggest match of your career, Jack? Linda, let me ask you something, dude. Did you wrestle The Rock and in the main event have to, on the fly, switch a babyface heel turn, a double switch, call it in the ring, dude? Well, let me ask you something, Linda, brother. Did you get in a jet ski accident and get a black eye and show up at Bret Hart out of his title at the end of WrestleMania 10? And then I think it was 10, right? No, which Mania was it? It wasn't 10. With Yokozuna. Then you beat Yokozuna, brother. Did you turn heel? Were you the third man, Jack?
19, I don't know what we got.
Did you make an album with Simon Cowell, dude?
2007, whatever, 2007. We had like a $25 million empire. And when I met him, he was in a piece of car living in Minnesota with a roommate. He had no money.
Okay. So you supported him till you get the empire, and then you're like, oh, I deserve half of this, and I'm in the limelight and the mainstream too, and so I deserve all of this. And he's like, brother, if I didn't wrestle King Kong Bundy in the steel cage and bleed with my ribs broken, Jack, at WrestleMania 2, or was it 3? Which one? 3 was Andre, 2 was King Kong Bundy, dude. And I wrestled him in the steel cage, Jack. You know, if I didn't do that, we wouldn't have a reality show. There'd be no Linda Hogan. That's not your name. That's not my name. That's not my name, right? That's not even your name, Linda Balea or whatever right? So you're still literally living off the Hogan name, bruv. It's crazy. This is insanity.
Okay, yeah, he was in the Rocky movie. Who knew where that would go? Who knew where that would go? Who knew? But yeah, we hooked up before that, and then all of a sudden it just ignited, right? So it wasn't after that; it was before that. But
man, that is sad. That's one of the funniest bits ever, I think, in PWT. So Brooke Olexi says she suffered mental and physical abuse since childhood. Yeah, I don't know if she was in support of her mother, though. That's what Brooke says. I try very hard to ignore issues surrounding my family in hopes I might have peace in my life. Sadly, I've intentionally made myself smaller in my professional career in music and TV simply to dodge the public negativity surrounding my family that has continuously and relentlessly overshadowed anything I do. If it were just me, I would continue to take the hits and shrink even smaller to avoid the dangers of speaking publicly. But I have my own family now, and it's affecting more than just me at this point. There was a recent video posted by my mother that was concerning enough for people to send to me that has made me feel the need to address the tip of a very large iceberg that is my immediate family. What little I am addressing does not even scratch the surface of what I've dealt with my entire life. I will start by saying this video is mild compared to behavior I've witnessed for the greater portion of my life. This also comes in addition to false claims that she's previously posted. Hulk always helped his daughter, like, as much as he could, man, for real. Like, put her on TNA TV and everything. Like, tried to beat everyone over the head with his daughter as much as he could because that's what she wanted. And then now she's like fucked up because if she could go back in time, she wouldn't have been Hogan. She would have just been like Brooke Olexi or whatever and tried to make it. Anyways, what little, okay. I will start by saying, okay, this portion of my life, this also comes in addition to false claims that she previously posted, then deleted. That being said, she has been through a lot of trauma and pain. Okay. My heart breaks for her. You can't control how others treat you, but you can control how you treat others and cope with things. So she's saying, yes, you were treated poorly. However, you have to be better too. That's what she's sort of saying there without being like overly critical of her own mother, you know? Too many times I've ignored things said about me and haven't spoken my truths. Even so, I will keep things as vague as possible to continue to protect people that should have protected me. Yeah, your parents. That sucks, man. Most importantly, I have completely separate reasons for going no contact with each of my parents. No contact with my mom has nothing to do with my dad. Damn. So there you go. No, unrelated, and no contact with my father has nothing to do with my mother. Damn, I didn't know she wasn't talking to Hulk either. This also pertains to my dad's second and third, now current wife. This decision was made based purely on how they have each dealt with me directly. So she's got beef with his new wife or something. What I'm about to say is not pointed at either person and is in no particular order when it comes to who did and what. It is my own personal truth, and you can do your own math. Steiner Matt. I have been extremely verbally and mentally abused since childhood. Sadly, it would frequently turn physical. Oh, no. Oh, that's not good. And sometimes it's not by the person you would assume. Abuse comes in all shapes and sizes. What does that mean? So Hulk was beating you? This vicious pattern has robbed me of any sense of self-esteem or confidence I've been trained to pretend to have. It took me many years to figure out things that were seemingly done for me really benefited someone else in a greater capacity. Damn, maybe her dad was pushing her in the limelight. Up until adulthood, I've received berating and vile text messages, verbal public reamings with unbelievably hurtful words said to me that cannot be forgotten. I've been asked to defend poor behavior to the public and have done so out of love, only to find I was misinformed, manipulated, and lied to. Still to this day, I face constant ridicule for those poor decisions. I've watched others benefit financially off me suffering. embarrassment caused by their selfish behavior. While it caused my life to crumble, I continued to stay strong and silent. I was expected to and did forgive massive blows to my career and personal life, nasty behavior, omissions of truth, blatant lies, manipulation, and repetitive errors in hopes of renewing previous family bonds. I've been used as a pawn, a buffer, etc. Not to skim through, her life. I know this is her truths, but feeling injustice, not speaking my truth. There it is. Okay. Many people witnessed this behavior and never took action or a stand for me. I can't blame them. My family is very skilled at war. I so badly wanted to see good in them and protect them, etc. I've repeatedly held my hand out to help them, only to have them pull me into darkness with them. So she's just done with her family entirely. Yeah, sad to see, man. Sad to see. That's the Hulk Hogan drama for today. In lighter news, we have Santino Marella will be at WrestleCon in Las Vegas. MLW has upgraded the venue of their Long Beach, California, Long Beach to South Central, right? Battle Riot is going down. So shout them out for that. This guy here, YouTuber Joe Weller. So he was on Impulsive recently, and he started wrestling training, sharing a photo with British indie wrestlers Danny Black and Joe Lando. And he's who Logan Paul suplexed at that charity match. We watched it on the show here at PWT. Yeah, he's at his first wrestling class. He was expressing wanting to get into wrestling. Here in other news, here's Soft Ground Uganda. Who, hey, listen, man. We'll hit an X-Files on this, but... Some talk about SG Dub and like they got a ring, they have bigger crowds, they look like they're growing. Now there's still accusations of people being mistreated, but they got a ring, and I don't know. You see some people lash out and not really have an explanation for this. And shout out Soft Ground though. I like that they're getting better and drawing houses now for the ring. So I guess that's what we weren't thinking of either, is that like, oh, but they're good because they're in the mud. Yeah, but if they get this ring, then they can go like pull up in this wherever they're at and do bigger shows. Like people see the ring and it's a spectacle instead of just being, we just are like, oh, it's better in the mud because we're marking something different across the world, across the planet, right? So for social media, it's good in the mud. For the live action, I think what they have going here is clearly working. Oh, he's got color, dude. Oh, dude, he landed right on the back of his neck there. A little green to be doing all this. Why would the ref count the pin for the guy who super kicked him? It's so funny. These guys are awesome. Oh, damn, dude. Those Ugandan tables, bro. You thought Japanese tables were bad, bro? I am the table. Take a look at these Ugandan tables, bro. Damn. Dude, that's a cool finisher too that guy does, where you get, it's like the torture rack, but just like into like a laying, it's like a reverse F5. Yeah, that's awesome. I like that too. Awesome, man. Good stuff. And that, ladies and gentlemen, was light news. I don't know. It's round of applause for light news. So we head on over to TNA news, okay? And it was just brought up. Breaking, TNA Wrestling signs Just Maggie Lee. I don't know who she is. I'll follow her right here on the show. But yeah, they signed her and they put a graphic. So I was like, all right, let's check it out. So Gail Kim has posted a statement on her Instagram following her exit from TNA. And she says, just wanted to say thank you to the fans, friends, and especially my peers for all the support you have given me over the last few days. I've received such an enormous amount of love, and it really has helped process this change for me. More than anything, I'm grateful for all the years and opportunities I was given to help build something I always dreamed of. The KO division is and always will be my heart, and all the women who were part of it. Thanks to the incredibly hardworking and passionate TNA talent, etc. She's like, I look forward to sharing my journey, and I'm taking some time. Yeah, she's like, I've been there for 17 years. So shout out Gil Kim. Ethan Page showed up at the TNA tapings in St. Joseph. We all know about it. We all heard about it. So yeah, he's going to go after Joe Hendry, which is pretty crazy. But I'm here for it, Eric. And that, ladies and gentlemen, was TNA News. Round of applause. Oh, yeah.